Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be. I'm Ann Brazo, the CEO and founder of MPN Advocacy and Education International. Today, we are beginning our Healthy Summer Series for MPN patients and caregivers. And with us today for the beginning of the session is Justin Grinnell, who some of you may know from a few of our seminars that we've held in person. He is a personal trainer, a kinesiologist, and he's actually a certified strength and conditioning specialist, which I can vouch for because he's helped me many, many times. And he's really shared some great stuff with MPN patients at our in-person events. So I'm going to turn this over to Justin. He is going to take you through a light exercise program for those who are suffering from extreme fatigue or just very tired and cannot do so well with more extensive exercise, to moderate to more extensive exercise. So Justin, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it, Ann. Thanks so much for including me once again. It's a pleasure to talk with you guys and help understand MPN more. One thing that I've really enjoyed during this time is, blood flow is huge. And one thing that I've always known, in exercise, yeah, that's an important factor, but not until I really started to dive into some of the research that Ann has presented to me with MPN and some things I've looked at on my own, how important that is. And, just really putting a stamp on, we just need small movements often to help, reduce stiffness, increase blood flow, make sure our joints are nourished, because when we get better blood flows, we get better nutrition to the body. In particular, as we age, the joints, those get a little bit, rusty, so to speak. They're not working as much. We don't create as much what's called synovial fluid, which is, think of the lubrication for the joints. And so I know a lot of folks here, they don't have a lot of either, energy to work out hard. That's okay. I want you to think of these as exercise snacks or little mini breaks when you're doing anything. Whether if you're still working, you're at your desk, you're doing things, try to think about doing small incremental movements. And that's what we're going to start with today is we'll build up to something, I don't want to use the word intense because it's not necessarily intense, just maybe a little bit more of a movement. But we're going to start very easy and then kind of build up so you can kind of see the progression of what you can do. And this isn't going to utilize a lot of weights or anything, no weights or machines or anything. This is simply just some real easy movement. We may get to a band part, but I think what we'll do in the beginning will be just enough. And I'm in my gym today, and so you'll see me move around. I'll get on the ground, so I'll move my camera accordingly, and you guys can definitely follow along. Or you can just sit here and learn. And of course, I don't know if we'll have time for a Q&A today, because we've got some yoga right up after this, but I'm happy to answer any questions. And if you don't get your question answered today, you can feel free to email me, no problem. My email is justin@mystateoffitness.com. So if something pops in your head that you want to ask, but you can't, we don't have time, you can just give me an email, not a problem. So, and I put these headphones on so they stay on. If anyone has these headphones, Beats Flex, $50, they're the best. Because you can jump around and stuff and they hang on your neck. It's great. So we're going to start with just a real simple drill. And you can do this in a seated or standing posture. And it really starts with, the lymphatic system, and that's the breath. And, we've got to work on understanding how to fill this kind of corset area, so to speak, with air, not only with the stomach going forward, because that's how we're going to expand and get the air in there, but also think of like the side muscles here, the obliques. Can you kind of pull air in there and minimize the neck and shoulders? So when you breathe, that's kind of what we want to do, right? And that's okay sometimes, but we don't want to do a lot of that because we get a lot of tension in the neck, restrict blood flow to the brain and neck over time, and we get that forward posture. So what we need to do is really posture up. You'll sit at the end of your seat, and I like to close my eyes, and I like to put my hand on my tummy or on the sides of my stomach and just get my breath going to where I'm using just my diaphragm. So you're going to breathe in. I want you to think 5 seconds breathing in, hold it for like a second or two, and then breathe out like you're blowing through a straw. So in through the nasal if you can, hold it, out through the mouth. You don't necessarily have to make a sound, but Breathe in, nice and tall. Again, minimize here. So again, breathe in. So keep going as I talk. So you can really use any cadence you want, but you really would just want to expel all the air out. Inhale a good 3 seconds or so and get that hold. Take your time, keep going. If you guys are following along and working, doing this as a workout instead of just learning, please keep going. Again, don't use the shoulders, extend the belly and pull back. And why do we do that? This is warm up or exercise for your diaphragm. And obviously we all know that air is important, oxygen is important. I try to do deep belly breathing. My goal is 8 breaths a day. So that's what I like to recommend is let's go ahead and give you a few more minutes here, actually about 30 seconds to a minute to get more in. So again, breathe in, no chest movement, no neck movement. And it's hard work, actually. You're gonna be like, oh, wow. If you start to get lightheaded, just take a break. That can happen if you're not used to diaphragmatic breathing. But that's where we start. And that's what you should do. For those folks that are working and at a desk, I can't tell you how much those deep belly breaths will kind of refocus you and let you get back to work. Because if you're working away on your computer, you get tight and you get lethargic. Next, what we're going to do, again, you can do this seated or standing posture, is we've got our breathing, and now we have to do head nods. This is something I probably do 3, 4, 5 times a day so that I can continue to get blood flow to the neck area and not let it get stiff and the head. So I start all my workouts and do these every day, the diaphragmatic breathing and the head. So all you're simply going to do is just in a gentle position, go up and then come down chin to chest. And don't rush these, just go slow. You go up and go back down. And just do the range of motion where you see my voice changed as I go up, 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 up. My voice started to change. That's your guide to range of motion. When you're doing these, make sure you're relaxing the upper traps here. Shoulders are down and back in the back pocket. Just think real good posture. You're aiming for about 5 to 10 of those. 5 to 10 up and down. And then once you finish those, you're gonna look left and then look right, okay? And make sure when you start, your head's not this. Make sure you pull it in the best position as you can. And we're gonna focus on that in a second. So I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds more to get the up and down and left and right stuff, okay? So we're starting there. We're prepping you for the yoga too. We'll do some great stuff later, but these are little exercise snacks we're trying to do throughout the day. If you can't do a lot of stuff at one time, this stuff's perfect because you can just do it in little mini doses so you're not too fatigued. Next one, okay, is I'm gonna have you do this forward posture. And I'm up here and it looks kind of funny, but you wanna work these what's called your cervical retractors. Those keep your neck in the proper position. And some of us folks will have what's called a dowager's hump. We want to try to get rid of that if we can. And we don't want this forward posture in the neck. And so you want to make sure you keep those muscles strong so you can keep them nice and tall. So you're here, you're just going to go forward. So obviously we don't want to do this all the time. So what we really want to do is come back. And I come back just again where my voice changes a little bit. I'm not tucking my chin here. Again, I'm going forward and coming back, okay? So go ahead and do a few more of those. As you guys can see, we started pretty simple, all right? Pretty simple, nothing's real hard, and that's how we start. And those breathing exercises, as well as those head nods, that can be what you start with, okay? Next, we're gonna go into some things that are a little bit more dynamic. You're gonna be moving a little bit. And I'm doing it in this area because I want to try to emulate maybe like your living room or your office or wherever you're at. I've got just a chase here and an ottoman, and I've got a couch and all that. So I'm trying to utilize these kind of real world functional things. And so what I'm going to have you do is we are going to use this ottoman right here, okay? And we're going to do a few simple things with this. This can be our guide. And what you're going to do is we want to try to get some good extension in our upper back. And so we're going to try to work our lats, shoulders, and hips. So I'm just on 2 knees here, and I have my hands on just this ottoman, or it could be a chair something, 24 inches or so up. I'm just going to reach back, drive my hips back, get that extension here. So we get the thoracic spine opened up and then help our cervical too. So continuing kind of that upper part of the body. Hold for 1, 2. Let's make sure you guys can see me perfect and then come back. Usually going to aim for like 10 to 15 reps. Right here, pause, 1, 2, inhale, and then exhale. So give me a few of those. That's going to get our upper body going. And then we're going to go into some lower body. So I want you guys to go ahead and give me a few more. I ran away because of getting the band, I forgot. Luckily, we're right in the gym. So after you do that for the upper body, we go on, and one of the more functional movements is a simple squat. All right, and some folks will say, well, I don't want to hurt my knees and this and that. Well, we're not using any weight here. Okay, so you should be just fine. You're just practicing something you do every day, which is sitting down. And the neat thing about the general squat is it does help our ankles, knees, hips, get more lubrication into the joints, more blood flow. We're working a lot of large muscle groups. The larger muscle group we work, the more energy we're going to expend, but more blood flow we get. So you like to do these like mini snacks of like 5 to 10. And so simply stand up, knees and toes are straight ahead. Okay. I'm going to move back a little bit so you guys can see me. And you just want to make sure you kind of find your center with your weight and your heels. If you can think, I'm going to keep my weight in my heels the whole time, not let my heels lift up, then you're going to be able to do a decent squat. So knees and toes straight ahead. And what I like to do is have a counterbalance with my arms. I keep my chest up, weight in the heels, my butt goes back, I touch, and I come back up and use my arms as momentum to get up. You're going to go down slow, touch, and then back up. You want to practice this fundamental movement pattern because you're going to do it forever, the rest of your life, hopefully. And you can do a lot of reps to get real tired, but 5 to 10, maybe a couple sets. I'm going to show you a side view. So if you're following along and working out, try to work up to 10 reps here. Take knees and toes straight ahead. So your kneecap should be in line with your 2 middle toes. That's what you're thinking. So nice and tall posture. I push my hips back, weights in the heels. See, my spine stays straight, but I can lean forward. That's no problem. I just need to keep my spine straight and then back up. So if you're doing this, it can be about 4 or 5 more if you can, and back up. Okay, so down slow, up with a little bit more force as we do our little living room workout here. So there we work the front side. Now we want to work the back side a little bit, and you're going to get on the floor. And this is a real simple drill. It's called a hip lift or a bridge. And it's one of the best bang for the buck exercises because if you're sitting a lot, this is going to be reversing those habits. Okay. We think we need to stretch our hip flexors, but you actually need to get your pelvis neutral and squeeze the glutes. For those folks that have like some lower back tightness or anterior hip tightness, it's just a real basic drill that I do many of them every single day. So I had hip surgeries. And this really helps get everything warmed up and gets the core locked in. So real simple, get your feet about hip width apart, toes straight ahead, okay? And use your arms at your sides. You're gonna lay down. You're gonna push through your heels. You're gonna bridge your hips up. Now you're thinking of your pelvis going towards the ceiling here. You're gonna go up and don't go too high to where your lower back kicks in too much. You wanna squeeze your glutes. You wanna hold for a good 2 seconds, pause, come back down. Don't go up too fast. You don't want to have your hamstring cramp. You want to go up slow, squeeze, pause, hold, 1, 2, and then come back down. So work right through about 10 to 15 reps as I talk. Go slow, get a good hold. Again, those folks sitting down a lot, this is going to be a huge reverse action to help your low back, because the more we can get our glutes active, the better a lot of our area like the low back will feel, and our hips. Okay, so let's get a few more there. Some people are doing their reps, I want to review something. So we've got the breathing, 8 to 10 deep belly breaths, taking your time, minimal neck and shoulders. Our head nod series, up and down, side to side, and forward and backward, getting that going. So we had that stretch, the thoracic extension stretch, We're going to use an ottoman, a chair to extend down, our body weight squat, and our bridge. So far right there, that's a great little workout. You can break those up in just a little mini chunks throughout the day. There's really no way you can just say do too many of them, but if you think about doing them throughout the course of the day, that's a lot of work in a long period of time, but in short bits. Okay. All right, now we're going to go on to, we were a little bit more dynamic there. Now we're going to get things going even more, but again, it's not real tough stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some dynamic motion to get more synovial fluid into the joints. And so now we've got our neck and shoulders warmed up. We've got some blood flow into the thighs and the hips. And then now what we're going to do is just some simple arm swings. And you don't have to be very aggressive with them. You're nice and tall. What I want you thinking about is not arching the back. You're slightly keeping your tummy engaged, slightly keeping your thighs and your glutes engaged as you do this. Keep your head centered, and you're just going to swing arms up and down. Simple as that. So this is something I do. Funny enough, before my son wants me to throw 50-yard bombs with a football, and tell him dad's arm's a little bit too old for that, but we keep doing it. So if you're getting ready for yard work, even, doing some of these just to get going, all right, is going to be helpful, because again, synovial fluid and blood flow is nutrition for those joints. So anywhere from 10 to 20, whatever you're feeling. And as you notice, I'm bending my elbows here as I do it. And then I'll also do one that's an alternate arm, okay, and make the body kind of work against symmetry, because if I raise one arm up, I've got a counterbalance here. So again, kind of squeezing your tummy a little bit as if you're bracing it will help keep your stability. Again, about 10 to 20 here is going to be pretty good. All right, so simple shoulders, getting good blood flow. You should feel a little burn going. Then we're just going to do a side bend reach, real simple drill. You want to think up and over, just go over, kind of like old school kind of motion. But again, we're trying to get all different planes of motion, reaching side to side. As I go up, I'm thinking of reaching up and over. So anywhere from 5 to 10 to those side bend with reaches. And then we're just going to do a little torso twist. Now, sometimes you can get dizzy with this, or just go slow, because you want to look in the direction that you go. And so I turn my hips. So real important for anybody doing any golf or pickleball, just getting your body used to going through rotation in space. So it's rotating here, side to side again. 5 to 10, go a little bit slow so you're not necessarily getting dizzy. So I'll give you guys some time to do that. So again, you got both arms. You can do these seated too. These things you can do seated, you absolutely can. You can go ahead and take a seat and do some of these if you're at your desk, because you're gonna get tight in that area, okay? So right there, we've got a great workout so far. And we've kind of ramped up intensity a little bit as we went. And now we're going to do a little bit of core work here. And what you want to think about is, it's always funny when folks say, oh, I'm going to do a plank for like 5 minutes. Well, I'll be honest with you, I never want to waste 5 minutes of my life doing a plank. I don't know about you. So it's just quality versus quantity, all right? Quality versus quantity. 10, 20, maybe 30 seconds. And what you're trying to do is just really thinking about neurally how you can engage your muscle tissue. And so what I want you thinking about, and everybody's going to get on 2 knees here if you can, is this is called a tall kneeling posture. This is a plank on 2 knees. And what you want to think about is ear, shoulder, hip, and knee in a straight line. Can I push my hips forward to where I can squeeze my glutes? And I feel a little bit of tension here, which is good, because we're releasing our hip flexors here where we're getting in that position, okay? Then I'm nice and tall, my head's over my shoulders, and my shoulders are down and back, okay? Kind of like I'm doing a pencil dive when I'm jumping in. And I'm just gonna hold this, and if you hold this long enough, it's gonna feel like a work, okay? Because you're actually stretching out your hip flexors. A lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna stretch my hips here. Well, that actually just stretches your lower back. It's not that good. Do this here. So this is the base here. Then we're to basically do this on 2 elbows, okay? So you're gonna be on your knees because it makes it easier. We can make it harder if we want. So I bring my knees like this, or my feet like this. And then I think, okay, I'm gonna push away from the ground, kind of round my back and keep my shoulders down and in my back pocket. Then I go through my checkpoints in my head. Are my thighs engaged? Are my glutes engaged? Can I squeeze my tummy? Can I squeeze my fists, my shoulders down and back? And kind of keep my head back. And then by the time I do all that, boom, I'm done. Take a little bit of a breather. Go ahead and 10, 20 seconds. And then again, try to do that same thing again. You push your hips up, keep your back flat, squeezing everything tight. And then when you're tired, go through all your checkpoints, you're done. Now, if you want to go ahead and make it a little bit harder, of course, we can do a traditional plank right here. But again, go through those checkpoints. It's going to be quality, not quantity. So I'm going to give you about another 30 seconds just to get a couple of those modified planks in or the regular planks. I'm just checking to see if any Q&A. Okay, great. Good. All right, we're doing good. So finish up the plank. So in review, breathing, neck exercises, the extension, the thoracic extension, that's the one where your hands are on the ottoman and you're kind of pushing the hips back, stretching the upper body. A body weight squat, those dynamic motions with the arms, torso twist, the bridge, the plank. These are exercises, even as, you know, I guess we can call myself an advanced exercise guy. I still will do all that stuff because it gets the body feeling good. It's general movement, more blood flow, more circulation. And it can be done in just mini chunks, okay, in just mini chunks. Now what I'm gonna have you guys do is you're gonna get on your back and work the core a little bit different. And again, everything can be harder or easier depending on where you're at, your fitness and your energy. But we're gonna do something that's gonna help your lower abdominals and help you understand how to use those in your hip flexors without engaging your lower back. And you can make them simple, you can make them a little bit harder. But the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go on your back and you're gonna take your hands and pull your knees in towards your chest if you can. And you're pull your toes towards your shins here. And what I'm thinking here is, can I push my ribs and lower back down? And so I can keep that kind of pasted against the ground, so to speak. And that's what I want you thinking. And so you're gonna make sure your abdominals are engaged. And you're basically just gonna, it's almost like you're running. You're gonna extend your leg out, okay? Go out as far as you can while you're hovering above the ground. So you can see that, and I'm trying to keep this engaged while pushing my lower back down. This is one that's harder than it looks, but it's simple enough where anybody can do a few reps and it's very beneficial. So you're gonna go out, pause, exhale. So inhale, because it's gonna help me engage all the muscles in my diaphragm, and then back out. You can even do these in just one rep at a time. Pause, come back. If you get tired, just kind of pull these in. You might feel some lower back muscles working. That's okay, doesn't mean anything's wrong. Take a deep breath, you can relax, and then again, push that leg out, come back in, pause, and then other side. If you can work up to 10 reps each side, that's fantastic. But again, you can do it in just a couple, rep chunks, kind of again, take a break. Let's do a couple more. So remember, lower back down. One leg stays in as the other one extends out. A real good one to do if we're sitting a lot, because again, we're working those deeper core muscles in the fashion they're supposed to, okay? So up to 10 reps each side. You can do them in little bits there. Give you a couple more seconds to do that if people are participating. Nice job. All right, so now I just want to show you a couple progressions that you possibly could do to make it more interesting. Now, push-ups are hard, and you don't necessarily have to start with a push-up. You can even do it against the wall, but it is a great exercise to build up to. So what I suggest to do it, if you're suffering from fatigue or just not having a lot of energy or a lot of strength, you could just do like a push-up plank position, just hold it, even if it's for 5 seconds and in little 5-second bits. Because again, you're thinking about, can I maintain a good, strong posture? Okay, so if I'm here, okay, because strength training is all about posture, position, and tension. So can I get in good position where I can engage all my muscles, and then my arms are out in front, right? And I can do this just against the wall. I can walk my feet back, but when you feel comfortable enough, you could just jump into a push-up position. And if you look in a mirror, my wrist, elbow, shoulder are in line with each other. I'm not forward here, I'm not backward there. And I can stiffen my body and just hold it. This will help strengthen the shoulders. I'm pushing away from the ground. If that's too tough, if you see what I just did, I just put my knees on the ground. And this is, I feel this right here. My shoulders are down and back. I can feel my glutes engaged, my abdominals are engaged. Everything is going, okay? So if you can hold this position, even for 5 seconds, that's some work. But again, it teaches your body how to use the whole body through motion. We're gonna go into an all fours position here, and we're gonna work the core a little bit more than the full body. So this one is, funny enough, and don't ask me why they call it bird dog, but I call it opposite arm leg reach. And it helps what's called your rotary stability, meaning how can you move diagonally? So you're gonna tuck your toes into the ground, knee is in line with the hip, all right, wrist, elbow, shoulder in line. And again, think about that posture where I'm not, shrugging my shoulders and so forth. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach my right arm out, left leg behind. And I'm gonna pretend like I have a cup of water on my lower back. I wanna try to balance that there. I don't wanna spill it. So my tummy muscles have to be engaged. And again, I can't sit in here, I've gotta push away. I'm gonna go right arm as long as I can. I'm trying to get it in line with my ear. My left leg is trying to get parallel to the ground. I'm squeezing my leg muscles and squeezing my fists. I'm gonna come back down without spilling that glass of water, put my hand and knee back to where it was before, then other side. And the extra benefit here is I get a lot of coordination and balance. So for those folks suffering from, a little loss of coordination and balance, this is one you can work into to not only help strengthen the core and lower back, but also help your mobility and your balance. So you see how slow I'm going. I don't rush this. Another one I do quite often as a warm-up drill. And same for all the other exercises we've done. We're looking at 5 to 10 repetitions each side. And any one of these, you can just do one at a time. You can stand up and do a few squats or do some shoulder swings, or you can do a bridge. Any of these can be done all throughout the day. I think of it as your retirement account. You put a little bit in at a time. You can't put a bunch in at a time. If you can, you're very fortunate, but you throw a little bit in, it just builds up over time. You're trying to do these small bits of exercise to help the blood flow, reduce restriction, get more joint mobility. And over time, doing some of these will give you some energy. You'll see, I guarantee if you do 8 deep belly breaths and do some of those head nods, you'll go back to work or whatever you're doing and say, wow, I just feel a little more refreshed, feel more revived. So that is a very effective yet not too intense workout that you can do anytime, anywhere. I'd be open to any questions or anything. And how'd it go, Andy? Were you doing this while I was talking, or were you just watching?
Well, we were doing the chair exercises. But I thought that was really wonderful. And I loved your analogy of your retirement account. I mean, that's perfect. And again, for those who have questions, you can either send those to me and I'll send them to Justin, or you can send them to him. And we thank you with all our hearts, and we will be in touch because we do hope to do a series throughout the summer with Justin and Natalie. And thank you. So we hope you enjoyed this and we're able to do some of those exercises.
Awesome. This is awesome. And we'll call it the building blocks of our future series. We got our good fundamental base, and we'll keep going from there.
Thanks, Justin. Thank you so much. I'm going to say adios right now.
All right. Take care. Good luck with the yoga.
There we go. Hello again. My name is Ann Brazo. I'm the founder and CEO of MPN Advocacy and Education International. For those of you joining us, and perhaps you are staying from the session with Justin Grinnell, Natalie Giocondo is with us. She is a certified yoga and meditation instructor, as well as having a master's in psychology. And she will be at our event in New York City to talk about psychosocial issues with chronic illness. And but today she's going to share her skills in yoga and meditation. And I think this is a great segue from Justin's exercise protocol. So Natalie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for inviting me. So today we're going to use yoga to combat fatigue, one of the most commonly reported MPN symptoms. So yogis believe that a person is comprised of 5 components. There's the physical, the intellectual, the emotional, the breath, and the spiritual. So a chronic illness like an MPN would impact all 5 of those bodies. So today we're going to work specifically with the breath body, the physical body, and the intellectual body. So today we're going to start with our breath. So let's come to, I have a chair. If you have a chair at home, you can use whatever you have. We're going to come to our chair and we're going to put our ankles under our knees, our hips under our shoulders. Shoulders are away from the ears, long spine. Go ahead and put your hands in your lap. Shut your eyes. And let's take a couple of deep breaths here. In through our nose, out through the mouth. Just finding our breath here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So when we breathe, we release the carbon dioxide from our body. And an excess of carbon dioxide leads to fatigue, exhaustion, and the inability to focus. So we're going to learn some diaphragmatic breathing, which is like big belly breathing, something that many of us in the West are taught not to do because we are taught to hold in our gut. Some people with MPNs also experience a shortness of breath, which means they may not be getting a full exhalation. So this is the perfect kind of exercise to do for 5 or 10 minutes every day, 1 to 2 times a day. Let's close our eyes again. If you get dizzy during this, please open your eyes, find a point to focus your eyes on, and go back to your regular breath. Otherwise, try to stay with my counting. Okay, so we're going to close our eyes and we're going to place one of our hands right below the navel and our other hand at the top of the chest. Our goal right now is going to be to push the breath, to direct the breath to the lower hand first. It takes a moment to do this, so let's take a few deep breaths again here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, if you're like me, you'll notice that immediately the breath goes to the upper chest. But what we're trying to do is breathe slowly and with intention to push our lower hand out. We want to fill this cavity with breath, just like a balloon fills with air. So let's try again. Slowly, we're going to inhale into the lower hand. And exhale. Try again. Let's inhale into that lower hand. And exhale. This time I'm going to count for you. So we're going to inhale to 4. Try to match your breath to the count so that as soon as I get to 4, you're at your ultimate maximum breath. And then we'll hold it at the top for 4 and exhale out. You're going to control the exhale so that your breath ends when I stop counting. So let's give it a try. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's try that again. Expanding the stomach, full belly breaths. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now this works best if we can do a double exhalation. So when you try this by yourself, you'll count your own breaths. 4 might be too much for you, but whatever breath you count for your inhalation, try to count double that amount for the exhale. Now you're controlling your exhalation, and at the very end, you kind of want to be pushing out all that air, and with it goes that carbon dioxide that builds in the body and brings us fatigue, exhaustion, and sort of the inability to think. So let's try it now. We'll inhale for 4, hold it, and exhale for 8. Here we go. Closing your eyes. Inhale into the bottom belly. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can address fatigue from our breath work. And again, that can be done 2 times a day for 5 to 10 minutes each time. But there's another thing that we can do to control some of the energy that gets wasted. We can conserve that energy to use in an intentional way. So something that takes a lot of our energy is when our mind is wandering. So this is our cognitive resources are being used up. Our brain uses a ton of our energy. And what we want to do is practice staying in the present moment. So when we're doing an activity and our mind is thinking of something that happened before, or maybe concerning ourselves with what is going to happen in the future, our resources are being eroded. And so to conserve that energy, we want to practice placing our mind in our body, situated in the moment that we're in. Now, for lack of time, we won't do a big meditation, although that's a really good idea, is to find a meditation that you could do daily. But this is a practice that you can do as you're transitioning from one activity to another. So this uses our senses in a very quick way to bring us into the moment. So this time we're going to leave our eyes open. Go ahead and rest your hands in your lap. Make sure your spine is tall. Keep going with your good breathing practices. And just scan the room. You don't have to move your head. Just in your visual field to yourself, quietly say 3 things that you can see in the room. Now to yourself, you're going to say 3 things that you can hear. Be a keen observer of your surroundings. You might hear the hum of the refrigerator. You might hear the air conditioning kicking on. Maybe there's children playing in the distance. All right, now 3 things you can feel. I can feel my hands on my thighs. I can feel the ground under my feet. Now with your eyes still open, we're going to do 2 things that you can see. These should be different things. We're trying to search our surroundings and use our senses to bring us into the present moment. Now 2 things that you can hear. Different things than you named before. Good. And 2 things you can feel. And of course, now we'll do one thing that you can see in your visual field. 1 thing you can hear. 1 thing you can feel. So this is called a 3-2-1 practice. Again, it can be used during transitions. If you're going from one activity to the next, it's very quick. It's also really good for anxiety or people who suffer from panic attacks. So we've addressed breathing that we can use to generate energy in the body and release the carbon dioxide. We've addressed this mindfulness or practice of placing our mind in the moment, using our senses. So that's a way to preserve the energy that we have that we might not know we're using. And now we're going to generate energy in the body using our physical body. We're going to do that with a moving sun salutation or a flowing sun salutation in the chair. This can be done right at your own work or really anywhere. The only thing I will say is if you have any trouble putting your head past your heart, so if you get dizzy or short of breath when you bend over in this particular sun salutation, please make the modification. Go ahead and just place your hands on your thighs, and you can keep your head up like this as we do our forward fold. So go ahead and sit at the edge of your seat, just checking our posture again, that our ankles are under our knees, our shoulders are under our hips. We have a long spine, our chin is tucked, the crown of our head is moving towards the ceiling, our tailbone is moving towards the floor, our bottom is firmly in our chair, hands are to the side. Take a deep breath here. Release. And your next inhale, inhale the arms up, hands touch, looking at our thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, paint the fingers forward, forward fold. Release the head, release the neck. Let the shoulders hang heavy. Inhale, halfway up. You're trying to create a flat back here. I have my hands, my fingertips are pushing through the floor. You might need to hold on to your shins or maybe even your thighs. You're trying to get a flat back here. Tailbone is moving towards the back of the room, crown of the head towards the front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pushing through the feet, using your abs. You can use your hands on your thighs. Push yourself up to a seated position. Hands go overhead, looking up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that is our sun salutation flow. We'll be adding to that, but let's do it one more time just so we're sure we have that flowing sensation. The idea is to keep moving through the positions and also to match the breath to the body. So let's try it again. Inhale, arms up, hands touched, look thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Release the tension in the neck. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pushing through the feet, sitting up, sit up tall, hands up, overhead, looking up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, right knee towards the chest. You can grab your shin under the thigh or the ankle. You're moving your knee towards your chest, straight back. Exhale, chin to chest, forehead towards your knee, round the shoulders, round the back. Inhale, straight up, long spine. Exhale, release the foot to the floor, other side. Inhale, knee towards chest. Again, you can grab at your shins, your ankles, under your thigh, keeping the straight back. Exhale, chin to chest, forward towards your knee, round the shoulders, round the back. Inhale, long spine, sitting up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, release the foot to the ground. Inhale, arms up, hands touch, look thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold, release the hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Tailbone towards the back of the room, head towards the front of the room, crown of the head towards the front. Exhale, release down. All the tension from your upper back is laying on your thighs. Release your head, release your neck. Inhale, push yourself up to seated position, hands above your head, look thumbs. Exhale to heart center. Okay, we're going to add a twist here. We'll do another flow. At the end, we're going to add a twist. So the important thing to know about when you twist is you want to get really long in your spine. And when we twist, we're going to move from our abdomen first. And then the rest of the upper body moves while the lower part of the body, the hips, the knees, the feet stay forward. Okay, so let's begin again. Deep breath here. Inhale, arms up. Hands touch, look thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push up, arms up, look up. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, right knee towards your chest. Exhale, chin to chest, forehead to knee. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, release the foot down. Inhale, left foot to chest. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, release the foot down. Inhale, arms up. This time we're not going to touch our hands. We're going to get straight up tall. We want our hips to be low and our fingers to be high. Ribs away from the hips. Shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, you're going to rotate your upper body starting at your navel towards the right. So I'm going to exhale towards my right. And when I get locked out, I can't go any further because I don't want to push here. Then my left hand goes to my right knee and my right hand goes behind me, either on the chair, on my hip, or I like to make a fist and kind of push it behind my bottom here, get a little bit of length. Inhale. Exhale, twist a little bit more. If you can and you have room, don't force it, but you could try to look over your right shoulder. Inhale straight up. Exhale, release to neutral. Let's do it again to the left. So we inhale our arms up, getting tall. And when we exhale, we're going to twist to our left, leading with our navel. So we're going to exhale, twist to the left, leading with the navel. Right hand goes to the left knee. Left hand goes behind us. Let's get tall here. Exhale. You can look over your left shoulder. Breathe here. Inhale up tall. Exhale, release to neutral. Inhale, arms up, hands touch, look thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit up, hands touch, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, right knee to chest. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, foot to the floor. Inhale, left knee to chest. Exhale, tuck your chin, forehead to knee. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, foot to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Don't touch your hands together here. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, sitting up tall. If you have room, look over the right shoulder. Inhale up tall. Exhale, release, untwist to neutral. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale up tall. Exhale, if you have room, look over the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, release to neutral. Inhale, arms up, hands touch, look thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit up, hands touch, look thumbs. Exhale to heart center. So that's a basic sun salutation flow. I hope that was okay for everybody. The idea is, and you probably could feel it, I know that I could feel it, if there's been some heat created in the body, and that is the energy that you can create by matching your breath to your movement. So we'll do one more flow and then we'll do a quick savasana, just some resting time where we can sort of explore the different parts of the body, get back into the body and let all of these exercises that we've done sort of do their work. Okay, so let's do one more flow. All right. Just checking in with our posture again. So we want our ankles under our knees, our hips under our shoulders. We want a long back. Tuck the chin under a little bit, crown of the heads towards the ceiling, tailbones towards the floor. We'll do the whole sun salutation along with the twist. Inhale, arms up, hands touch, look thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Release the head. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push up, sit up, arms up, look up. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, right knee to the chest. Exhale, forehead to the knee. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, foot to the floor. Inhale, left knee to the chest. Exhale, forehead to the knee. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, release the foot to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind us, right hand behind us. Sit up straight here. You can look over your right shoulder if you have room to deepen the twist. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. Twisting to the left. Exhale, left hand comes, right hand comes to left knee. Left hand comes behind us. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, untwist, release. Inhale, arms up, hands touch, look thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push through the feet, use the abs, sitting up, all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so now we've talked about how to create energy in the body by using the breath to release the carbon dioxide, which reduces fatigue. We've talked about how to place the mind in the body, situated in the moment, with our 3-2-1 practice, which conserves the energy that we have so that we don't waste it on this cognitive processes that are unnecessary through the day. And we've used this flowing sun salutation, which matches the breath with the body in order to generate heat and energy in the body that we can use. I bet after this, you guys are going to feel really energetic. So right now, though, we're going to just do a quick savasana. So let's come to our comfortable position on our chair. You don't have to sit up now. You can kind of lean back in your chair a little bit. Hands are in the lap, palms facing up. Go ahead and shut your eyes. Take a few breaths here. May be able to feel some of the tingling energy that we created today, moving through the feet, the lower parts of the leg, the thighs, the hips, the lower back, the abdomen, the ribs, in between the shoulders, the chest, the neck, the face. Release any tension that you have in your head, your face, your eyes. Let your jaw hang slightly open, your mouth. Let's take some deep breaths here. Start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Listen to the sounds around you in the room, coming back to your body, coming back to the moment. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope that this was an enjoyable practice for you. And namaste.
Namaste. That was excellent. Thank you. And we will definitely continue this series. I loved that you stayed in your chair the whole time. For those that are unable to get up and move around, I thought it was really wonderful, Natalie. Thank you.
Great.
And we will be in touch soon. And you'll be back with this and other wonderful things for our patients and caregivers. Thanks, Natalie.
Of
And
course.
thank all of you for joining us today.